Hey YouTube! MV Studio has released a new 808 clone, which you might be thinking to yourself, man, we got enough drum machine apps. What is this possibly bringing to iOS that we don't already have a dozen other apps that do? The answer is parameter locks, which are a major feature of the Electron series of synthesizers and drum machines. And I will show you exactly how that is awesome in this demonstration here. To start off with, I'm just going to do the most generic house pattern ever. Put in some 4 on the floor bass drum pattern, and if we double tap on a step, it becomes an accent, so we're going to hear this a little better. And we'll throw in a snare. And let's put some closed hats in on here. All right, so we've got the basics. This is just as generic as it gets. But let's take one of these. Actually, let's take an open hat and start throwing this in places. And we're going to do interesting things with this. So if you hold down on one of these, you're in parameter lock mode. I forget exactly what they call it. I think they might call it something else, but it's basically parameter lock, where you can change all of these parameters now specifically on just this step. So let me get out of this. If I change the level or whatever, that affects everything. But I can now hold that, get into this mode now, and I can change the pitch of this. So I'm noticing as I'm recording this, I'm having some serious frame rate delay. It's probably because of the recording software, because it was working fine before. I am sincerely hoping that this video is going to work out, because that's a noticeable delay on my end. So, all right, we can do things like change with the pitch, maybe. And if you while you're in P-lock mode, you can hop around between different steps without holding down again. So let's knock these down and then send this at reverb, like hard. So it would be really annoying if we had all of our closed hats or open hats hitting the reverb that hard all the time. But like this, it's kind of interesting, right? Like it's creating a kind of a gong thing while maintaining our rhythm. Right? Like that's important here. We're maintaining this generic house beat rhythm, but now we're making it interesting. So we can do that to even greater extents by exploring some of the other drum parts. So let's throw in some toms. All right, and so we're just doing a little tom roll there, and I think it might be interesting to take the what were we on? Medium, yeah, and try giving that delay on. It's not really noticeable. All right, let's stop doing that. To deactivate this, I think you need to go out and then close out that step and bring it back. All right, so yeah, that got rid of it. Let's play with the congos instead, or congas. So okay, I got an idea. So we've got this pattern, we're getting crazy with it. Let's duplicate it by going into the third menu option here. We've got different options now for expanding it. So now we've just duplicated that, and we can scroll over to the step sequence for this second pattern, or second portion of the same pattern, and start screwing around with it. So if we go back into all of our drum parts here and we looked at it, the congos now can be different from one part of the pattern to the other part. So we're gonna take the medium conga and let's try delay on this. So that is interesting, right? Like we got the delay and then a normal hit coming in 2 steps later. But it's only doing that on that second rotation. So that sounds pretty interesting. We could get even crazier with this. And now let's switch over to our high, and we can actually like do really weird stuff. So let's try that. We can change the pitch on individual things. So you got to go in low. A little too high, but I think you see where I'm going with this. Now we've got pitched percussion. Still a little too high. And that's fun. Let's close out of this. I actually want to add reverb to this whole thing, so I'm now affecting the entire high conga. I'm getting super nervous that this recording is going to be all fucked up because of the delay I'm seeing here on the screen. So let's hope that this is going to work out. There's also some interesting performance controls in here. So now that we got our pattern, and man, that open hat is just a little too loud. I'm gonna have to go in and edit those. Oh shit. And I've got to do that now on the first portion of this pattern. Let's an interesting result we're getting there, but I'm gonna get distracted with this. I wanted to show you the performance controls. So we're going with what we got now, and here we can change how the reverb or the delay is behaving, but there's also a great EQing section which just immediately expands all kinds of different opportunities. So once you've got your pattern and you're playing around with it, you can just dramatically change it, you know, pumping up the mids, and we're doing that for a few bars here, and bring down the highs, accentuate the lows. That sounds really good. This is all sample based, right? It's just TR-808 that's been sampled, and there's no synthesis involved here. So there's also this distortion, which is delicious. So check this out. Now it would be nice if you could say, I only want certain parts to be affected by the distortion, but you don't get that, so let's play with what we got. That sounds really good with the mid and low boosted like that. And there's also a ring mod, which is going to do weird things. So I should describe what I was doing there. So I knew that that drive was going to make it really, really, really gritty. So I brought down the amount whenever I was bringing it up or down. So I was changing it between pattern rotations so that it wouldn't always be this, noise. So that's a good trick, right? Just bring down the amount and then change it and then bring the amount back in gently so you can listen for it and hear, okay, is this going to be crazy or is this going to be good? And it makes it look like you know what you're doing, even though you might not. So I'm going to play out now and hope sincerely that this video worked out. If you're seeing it, it did. Thank you very much to all my Patreon patrons for making these videos possible. Take it easy, folks.